Hey, this is SJ Talks from Life coming back at you. I'm gonna go ahead and about this clip about Section 8 was really interesting. I'm gonna play this clip and then I'm gonna come back with my commentary.
There are different type of people that are on Section 8, and most people think that the vast majority is black women, but that's not true. The vast majority of people that are on Section 8 is white people. Okay, the number one group we speak about is the single moms that are on Section 8, constantly having babies, having Section 8 for over 30 years, wanting to pass it down to their kids and abusing the system. That's one group.
Mm-hmm.
Then the second group that we have is the people that are on Section 8 that have disability. That's group number two. Then
Mm-hmm.
the third one is the people that are on Section 8 that actually need the help. They work, they take care of their children, they try every which way to have some sort of income to have somewhat of a decent life.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? They don't abuse the system.
Mm-hmm.
And then the fourth one is the white people that are on Section 8 that are wealthy, have businesses. They put their
Mm.
businesses in a vote. So when you put it in a vote, it's technically not connected to you. So it's its own identity.
Mm.
Okay? And so if
Mm.
it's not connected to you, you're getting money, right, from your business. But in Section 8's eyes, you are a person without a job
Mm.
on Section 8.
That's
Okay?
something.
It's not one type of person that's on Section 8 that needs the help, or it's not one type of person that's on Section 8 abusing the system. I think y'all need to get more understanding of it. Because most of the time they push it out that it's black single moms with all these 40 different baby daddies that's on Section 8 abusing the system. That is not the case.
Mm.
That's it. That's the rant. I know I've been gone for.
Did y'all hear that? Yeah, I didn't know white folks getting over on a system like that. I didn't know white people was getting over on a system like that. I didn't know white folks was running game like that. You hear that? Because when people think about Section 8, if you notice, when people talk about Section 8, and that's been a big topic lately because Donald Trump is trying to make changes to it, that's the first thing that pops up in people's head is black women with multiple children. When people talk about food stamps, the first thing that pops up in people's head is black women with children. When people talk about welfare, the first thing that pops up in people's head is black women with children. They don't think about no other demographic on it but black women. And statistically, white people are, excuse me, white people get more food stamps, statistically get more food stamps than black people. It's always been that way. But that's their go-to. You notice that the first thing that they think about when the topic of food stamps come up, Section 8, welfare and all that, is black women. It's always black women every single time. And that's what bothers me. That we're always being the poster child for these programs. Another thing I have an issue with, and I've expressed that on here many times, is I'm just getting sick and tired of people. It just seems like people are so happy to see these programs being cut. People are so happy to see. Uh, there was another Lady Boulay played a clip. This guy was saying that when Donald Trump passed this bill, it hasn't passed yet, but they're really pushing to pass it, the 2 year limit. The people that are already on it, they're gonna give them 90 days to get out of their or they're gonna give them 90 days to find some place or, or to live. I guess they're gonna lose their apartment. The landlord is not going to give them an opportunity to pay the full rent, or and it just amazes me how people are so excited to see families being put out on the streets. People are so excited to see children being thrown out on the streets. Remember, as I stated in other videos, children are the poorest people in this country. Okay? Children are the poorest people in this country. Okay, statistically. So when the cuts are made to these programs, the children are the ones that get affected the most. And it amazes me how people, because people are always thinking that black women, for some reason, everybody wants to see black women be down and out. Everybody wants to see black women struggle. Everybody wants to see black women suffer, especially black men. Well, not all black men, but a good portion of them. It's very, very disturbing how you want to see your race of women suffer. A lot of them acting like they're happy about, really? Really? And you heard what the lady just said. It's white folks is getting over on the system. You heard what she just, I already knew all that. I already knew that. Well, I didn't know that particular fact of how it was being done, but I knew statistically more of them benefit from it, like more of them benefit from the food stamp program. I kid you not, when I used to work at a Meijer store, I was a cashier. When the white people came through with their food stamp card, it was a little slip that came out after the receipt. It was always a little slip that come out after the receipt that tells you the food stamp balance. We were required to give it to them. And do you know that the white folks always had more food stamps than the black people? That's something they don't tell you. They give the white people more food stamps. The white people had more, I kid you not, every single time a white person came through my line with that food stamp card. I kid you not. They had long stamps. They had when that little slip would come out of the machine telling the food stamp balance. It was always a big balance on there with white people every single time. And it just amazes. I said, this really amazed me. I said, wow, these white people getting long food stamps. Yeah, that's something they're not going to tell you. That's why the white folks are so upset about these cuts, because they get more food stamps. And of course they're going to point their finger at black women, single mothers with kids. That's why they so upset about it, because they get more of them. They get more food stamps. But then they had the nerve to say, oh, they ain't no white privilege. Yeah, whatever. Every single time, it never failed when a white person came through my line. They always had long food stamps on that slip. And it just amazed me how the white people would get so many food stamps. Mm-hmm. They're the ones that's benefiting from all these benefits more. They've always been. The welfare program was created for white folks. During the 1930s, during the Depression, I forget who that president was, that invented, came up with the welfare system. Guess who they created the welfare system originally? They originally was created for white people. I remember my mother come up in Chicago in the 1940s. My mother said they used to have to do the best they could. She said they used to have to do the best they could because the white folks was the only one that could get those benefits back in the day. That's what my mother said. She said we used to have to do the best we could because we couldn't get, that's what she said, black folks couldn't get access to those benefits back then. That program was originally created for white folks. And did you know the government used to sell food stamps back in the 60s, maybe 70s? Did you know the government used to sell food stamps? Yeah, they used to sell food stamps. They don't want you selling them, but the government used to sell them. Used to have to buy the food. People used to have to buy the food stamps. So your food wasn't free, it was discounted. That's how that worked back in the day. That y'all, a lot of y'all didn't know that, did you? The government used to sell food stamps. They don't want you selling them though. They don't want you. How dare you sell them? Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. But it just amazes me how people always see black women as the face of all these programs. You heard what she just said. They always see black women, single black mothers, the face of all these programs, and people want to see black women being kicked off, black women and children being kicked off. They want to see black women and children on the street. Really? It amazes me how these people are cheering these cuts on because they see black women as the face of Section 8. And I don't know. I don't understand how you can want children to be on the street. The homeless rates in this country are already through the roof. And it's with these cuts, they pass this. And if it's true, they're really giving people 90 days. That's already on the program. It's going to be a lot of children on the streets. And that's why I'm saying 2 years is not long enough. We're already in an affordable housing crisis. 2 years is not long enough. And how you going to just kick somebody off the program and not try to help them make some type of transition? You know, and people say, well, people should have knew that this was coming all along and all that. You know, that program been in place for years. Do I think that people should be trying to strive towards better and try to strive towards? You should always try to better yourself. Like I said, I gave my Section 8 back. Check my video where I told that story. I think when you're on any of these programs, you should strive to do better and get off. Absolutely. You know, I went to college for many years. You know, I always tried to find a better paying job. Hence all the job hopping. Some of them wasn't better paying, but whatever. You know, I always strive to do better. You know, and so yeah, when you're on these programs, yeah, you should try to work towards doing better, to have a better quality of life, to be self-sufficient. Self-sufficiency should be the goal. Absolutely. But the way this economy is set up, you know, they said that statistically, Gen Z is the millennials and Gen Z may not be able to purchase a home. The Gen Z generation and millennials may not be able to purchase a home. Isn't that the American dream, to be able to purchase a home? The economy is getting that bad. It's getting to the point where people won't be able to afford a home. The shrinking middle class we're dealing with the shrinking middle class right now. And the only reason why white folks are upset about these cuts is because they're going to be affected. Their people is going to be affected about it. They can care less about everybody else. And they talk trash about black women being on the system. It's because they're going to be affected by it. If they're upset about it, that's the reason why they're upset about it, because they're going to be affected. They don't care if black women and children are going to be thrown onto the streets. They don't care. They don't care if black women and children are going to be homeless. People are so hell-bent on seeing black women and children suffer. It just amazes me. And to hear these black men come on here and act like they so excited about all these cuts, you know, that's a reflection. That's a whole nother video. That's a reflection on the men, on y'all. That falls back on y'all. Y'all supposed to be the head. Y'all supposed to be the providers. But you happy to see your women struggle? Make it make sense. But I'm so glad that this young lady set this straight. Hit me up in the comment section. What are your thoughts on this Section 8 cuts? How do you feel about black women? People always throwing black women up when the topic of these programs come up. They always throwing black women up, like the black women are the only ones, single mothers are the only ones that's getting these programs. Where statistically, white folks benefit from these programs more. Hit me up in the comment section. Let me know what your thoughts are on that. Hit that like button, share, and please hit that notification bell so every time I do a video, you'll be notified. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Be blessed.